Anybody interested in business? Maybe you run a company. Would you like profit? Does anyone care about profit in this room? Oh, like 3 people. All right, if you're not going to be serious, I'm leaving. How many people in this room are interested in trying to learn how to work closer with ABB, okay, and expand your market, expand your business, reach into other countries, reach into other regions? We'll talk through some of these things and a little bit of the strategy. So who am I? So I guess a couple quick bullets. So I work for the President of Energy. I sit in the global leadership team. I'm responsible for chemical and refining, which is about a $740 million a year business with decent revenue, decent margin. And I look after this business line that we're going to talk about. And M&A is a key part of kind of our growth strategy. And Matteo is one of my closest friends and partners on this fact. So what do all those things mean? Honestly, not much. It doesn't mean anything if we don't find ways to make each other happy and to make our clients happy, right, in a way that is meaningful for today and also meaningful for the future. So this is kind of how it works. Partnership is super important to me. I think this business line has never had an event like this, to my knowledge. That's because the business line didn't exist that long ago. We decided to carve this out over about, I guess it was more or less, we planned it over a year, and then we made it official in October, but we started planning this, I think, in the summer of, where is Matteo? Summer of 2020?
Yes.
Yeah? So it's been a few years, and now we're at this point. So if you're familiar with ABB, and I hope you are, we'll kind of talk through a few things. One, I like questions, so I hope you have some questions. That's the first thing, because we want the conversation to be meaningful to you, not just standing here and telling you stuff that may or may not resonate, okay? So if we get to a point where we haven't covered a topic that you came here to hear about, I think the right people are here, and we can probably answer the question, hopefully in a good way, but we'll see. So that's a little bit of the intro stuff. You can go to the first chart. That's fine. So this is an interesting chart. So I say this all the time. There's a lot of stuff that I can forgive, or we can forgive each other. You know, we can make mistakes. We can even be late sometimes. We can be a pain to each other. We can challenge each other on cost. We can look for ways to kind of partner in different places. There's a ton of positive stuff we can do, but this one we can't do, right? So this is one of like the capital punishment sins, right? So integrity, critically important. Counterfeit parts, critically important. I will come to your house. That's a joke. You guys are supposed to laugh. That's the parts that would be funny. I will come to your house if we are having some issue around integrity or counterfeit parts. Or better yet, we'll send the attorneys. So it's really important that all of us stay well aligned in this very, very interesting and unique space called keeping each other honest, right? So we can't do it to you, and you can't do it to us, because it looks really bad in the newspaper. It's really expensive. It's years and years and years of court. It damages the brand. It damages your brand. It drives people out of business. It's a horrific mistake. So let's not make that mistake. Anyone disagree with my first request? Any people think we should not do the things that are on the screen? All of them come back to me to this third point called trust. And trust goes along with collaboration. That means trust inside the business. There's a lot of people here from ABB that are currently sitting in different boxes, so to speak. I can tell you, I use the word hate not that often, but I do not like org charts. They are useless, and they cause people to live in their own little box instead of inside of what a client wants or what the company needs, right? So I'm this guy and I'm that guy. It doesn't matter. Same on the outside. My goal for today is that we create a larger, more dynamic team, and I don't care if you have a white badge or a red badge, or if you're not even wearing a badge because you snuck in the back door and didn't pay your fee to get in. We were charging people. I don't know if you realize that when you walk through, but your phone, if you have Apple Pay, you'll see $100 when you leave. So really, really important stuff that we really want to use today as a way of building trust and cohesion and collaboration. We spent a huge amount of time on this yesterday, and I thought it went really well. If you were here yesterday, I'm going to cover a couple points that we talked through yesterday, but it's different now because we're looking at it from the outside instead of just from the inside. Next chart, which looks like some of the markets. So think here about expansion. Are you working in paper today? Anyone? No? How about food and beverage? Okay, food and bev, yes, couple guys, yeah? What about pharma? All right. All right, so if you had your hand up in any one of those instances, you are instantly important to me. You're all important to me, but these folks are really important. No, because this is where we have a real need to grow and kind of migrate our core solutions back. So we were present here years ago. We did a nice job in pharma. We did a nice job in paper. We have 6,000 installed sites globally today, 6,000 installed sites globally today, and about a third of them are in paper. However, we have stopped our commercial, we haven't gone to market in paper in a long time, and that's changing, right? So going to market in paper, in pharma, in food and beverage, if you have clients there and you can help us get in front of those clients there, we are happy to talk about how to set up structure and reward to make sure that happens, and also to help write you into some of the specs so that the good work you've done can ultimately get delivered through your manufacturing and operations center. And I would need Arun and Karen to kind of underwrite that statement by making sure you're qualified. But if you're in this room, you're probably pretty well qualified and perhaps even working with ABB already. So that's a little bit. So you have kind of left and center called traditional markets, right side expansion markets, and then we talked about tech for both software and automation going into everything that's on the screen here. How clear is that? GMV said it's clear. How clear is that if you're halfway down the hallway here? Is it clear to anyone in the room, or is it unclear? Does it make sense to you?
Yeah, it is clear to me and quite interesting. And the way you have mentioned paints, pharma, paper, lubricants, and we are very much there, and these are the items where our interest is already there, and getting opportunity into this area, definitely we can work.
Sorry, if you would just repeat so the folks in the back can hear you.
Our interest is definitely in all these things. We are already there in paints, whether it is Asian, glassing, and all these people. And pharma also, paper also, specialty chemicals. These are areas of our interest, and we look forward to working with you at the right time now.
The right time is right now. So
we are ready.
Yeah.
We are ready, and we are quite optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a global manufacturing center, or are you only here in India? Like, tell me a little bit about your operation.
You see, we are getting to the domestic markets and overseas also.
Okay.
As far as these industries are concerned, paper, paint, and pharma. Right now, we are focusing in a domestic market. But as far as specialty chemicals, lubricants, and petrochemicals are concerned, we are operating in Africa as well as Middle East. And we look forward to these opportunities. Mm-hmm. We are keen to work together so that we can add value, you see, to our jobs.
Okay, that's great. That is like verbatim what I would hope anyone would say.
The way paint industry is taking shape in India, where the investment is taking place, whether it is narrow like Asian and the new player like JSW, Grasim,
Yeah.
we are quite bullish, you see.
Okay. Okay.
In all the expansions of Grasim and Asian Paint, we are very much there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Chun Wang is where? Where is he? Chun Wang, you should come and talk to this gentleman during the first break. So I also believe in connecting dots. I used to have an old professor that used to say, no matter what problem you have, there's someone in the room that has the answer. He used to say this all the time. He said, no matter what's wrong, what problem, what situation, there's some stranger, even if you're on an airplane, that literally knows something about the subject that you're having a difficult moment with. And the problem is we haven't connected the right dot in order to kind of get the question answered. So during the course of the day today, take time to make sure I love your point, and thank you for making it. No offense, I wish you were a woman for 5 seconds there, so sorry about that. Just joking. But it's really, really important. That the point you made is super important, and getting you and Chun Wang wired together, he's right behind you, the guy in the gray jacket, getting you guys wired together because he is our commercial front end to Asia, right? And this is how we're structured, right? So the EMEA person is the commercial front end to Europe and Middle East, right? You have operations here, which is global execution, but this is just a little bit of how we are wired together. So this is the kind of feedback we need during the day today, all right? So I'm really kind of, I'm asking for more volume and voice around what you can do, what ambitions you have, and how we can become important in your growth and clearly also, selfishly speaking for a second, in our own growth. Is that all right? What did I miss? Go to the next chart, please. So here we have some expectations around standardization. I won't read all these collaboration opportunities in tech. We're spending a fair amount of money, $35 or so million a year in R&D. So we need good R&D ideas that you can filter into us that help us become a bit more meaningful. R&D is maybe not our strongest area, if I'm candid with you. I think sometimes we make really smart investments like we did in our batch management solution. I think sometimes we develop things that maybe don't get to market or sold in a way that we hoped, right? So there's some gaps there. You can help us fill in some of those gaps, particularly in these other markets that you were just discussing, where we have an opportunity to think through and rethink our portfolio. And Samuel, you're the right guy to help us get that piece sorted. So do a proper job connecting dots today while we're all together. So next chart looks like execution models. Yeah, so we need to get really clear on our geography. We need to get really clear on where we sit globally. I'm a big proponent of global execution, global proposals, global supply chain. I think these are really important ways for us on the inside to get smarter and get our cost in the right place. So it's a real critical zone. You can help us by being good partners and being dependable, being on time and delivering a super high quality. So I think that piece is pretty self-explanatory. And this last piece, all the stuff we said, or maybe I said with a little help, but all the stuff we've said so far goes right back to, is the customer happy? Is the customer satisfied? I'm going to have a meeting tomorrow, and I think the customer is not going to be that happy. And it's not pleasant, right, when that happens, right? Because then whatever they're thinking about doing next, they might be thinking about doing with someone else. So getting, and coincidentally, if I'm honest with you, part of the challenge leads right back to supply chain and operations, if I'm honest. It's not anyone here, I don't think. They're not here, right? But I don't think they're here. Is that true? They are not here. Yeah, so they're not here, but it's the same thing. If you guys decide to show up late or do something that's outside of schedule, some guy with 3 letters after his name is going to call me up and want to yell at me. That's kind of how, that's basically, I'm sort of explaining my job almost. I get yelled at a lot. So that's how it works. So we need to be really kind of like uber dependable. And the next one, yeah, this one. All right, so this is a bit of an internal chart, but I think it's important for you to know. So you met GNV, he is the head of this building, okay? This building is chiefly responsible for execution of global projects for all of process automation, which is our third largest business area in the whole company. Right, so sometimes we throw around acronyms like OPC. People don't even know what the hell it means. What that means is global execution for operations, for automation, for safety, for digital, for blending, is all being done by the people wearing red badges. Right, so a lot of buyers in this room, a lot of engineers in this room, a lot of salespeople in this room. This is a rich, fertile environment. If I were a supplier, I'd be really excited to figure out where I can make another couple $1 million or $10 million or maybe hundreds of millions of dollars through my existing connection with ABB, right? So ABB, the corporation, has invested in a huge way. How old is this building?
This organization is about 20 years old.
Yeah.
And then it started off with a few people. Now
Yes.
About 3,000 people.
3,000.
But it's not just the people, but what we work with. And I mentioned this earlier,
Yeah.
Colin, that 40%.
Can you pass GNV a microphone, please? Sorry, I think this is an important point, so I want you to make this point so everyone can hear you.
It's a lot to do about people, but then people working with, I would say, a lot of equipments, a lot of, there are big labs here, and 40% of this building, which actually translates to about 3 floors, is filled with equipment. And I was mentioning this to you earlier. We have about 400,000 equipments and components in this building. That translates to about 4 lakhs in the local language, 4 lakhs of components and equipment. So that is one part of it. The other part is, it's a combination of competencies that goes across many disciplines: R&D, engineering, digital, SCM, commissioning, testing. I mean, you name it, it's here. So if you want to look at a mini world of how ABB operates, this is the right place to come. I do not know how mini it is. It's right now representative of all that we have in ABB, and it's growing. So what we have done here is a lot on the individual functions, a lot on engineering, a lot on R&D, a lot on digital. But there's also another point that we should remember. We always talk about winning together. We talk about doing things together, collaborating, cooperating. That we're doing in an excellent manner. Imagine an R&D team working with an engineering team to get together and bring something which the customer wants. Now you could do it as individual isolated units, but once you come together, what we can synergize to and get as value is huge. And this is something which is not a theory, Colin. We have seen many times in the recent past, but also history, what we can get out of synergies is big. Now,
Yes.
What we look forward to is extending this to do work with all of you as partners. We have done a lot of work with partners. I was telling Colin yesterday that you come to Bangalore, you get a host of partners on the IT side, a host of partners, potential partners on the digital side. Now this is an opportunity for us in blending to also involve all of you as mechanical and experts, the chemical experts, so that we can bring together through our synergies something that the customer would want, something that the customer would value. That's an opportunity here, Colin.
Yes.
It's as you rightly said, your professor quoting that we have problems, but somebody in the room has a solution to this problem.
Yes.
Now, all these solutions put together can be a large solution that we can actually get forth. It's
Yes.
only that we have to put our heads together. And when I look at this collection of people, and then the potential to work with our guys here who are busy and hence not attending this, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. So let's look at those opportunities. Colin, you're bringing out a lot of underlying potential that we know of.
Yes.
Perhaps we don't talk about it.
Yes.
This is an opportunity to talk.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I would say, look, this is one of the most important buildings in the entire company. So we're 80,000 on a good year, 100,000 people at ABB. And I'm saying this for the suppliers and partners that are here. I'm also saying this for the employees of ABB that are here. This is literally, if you don't get up with a whole bunch of passion coming into this building, you will have the wrong job and you are in the wrong field. This is one of the most important centers in the whole company, right? So process industries gets delivered from this building. Yes? Process automation gets delivered from this building. Safety, software. This goes to all the verticals. This goes to upstream. This goes to onshore and midstream. This goes all the way through the verticals of downstream, gas processing, chemical, petrochemical, basic chemical, and so on down the line. It's all centered here. And I don't know if everyone in the room, because it's not written, it's not like you can walk in and see it on the wall. But if you walked into this building today, you should really leave, I hope, with a really deep understanding of how important G&V and everyone else in this area really is, not just to India, but to your expansion in Africa, to your expansion in North America, parts of Europe. You want to go to Southeast Asia? This is a great place to start because we can help you. If you're already there, you can help us. What are you hearing me say? Oh, did I not turn it on?
Hello.
Don't trust me with the microphone.
Yes, you are explaining very well about the integrity and all the slides and the projects, what ABB is going to do in the future. I'm very interested to know that how this innovation, new innovation can help us. Like we are a partner to ABB in France. We are supplying the stainless steel bars. We are a manufacturing mill in Italy. So this will be very good opportunity for us to support you and as well as your partners to meet these expectations, like what you are saying for 2026. This can be a good for us to support to your partners, yes.
Okay. So I think 2 years or so ago, this business was about a third the size that it is today. So the growth has come really fast. And just like if you have a son or a daughter that grows too fast, it hurts. There's a lot of pain when you're growing fast. You're happy, but you're getting taller, and it feels great, but at the same time, it hurts like hell. And that's a little bit of where we are. We're a young child growing pretty quick, and we need smart people to help us grow in a sustainable way. And I like when we get to a point where your solutions can be repetitive for us. I said that. I mentioned this yesterday. When BASF made their biggest ever investment, I think it was $33.2 billion. It's 3 sites. And what they did smart, they went to a single procurement cycle.
Yes.
Right? So they have 3 plants, they've planned them, they've announced them, they're actually funded, and they said, hey, if you win automation, you get automation for all 3 sites. If you win safety, all 3 sites. Software, all 3 sites. I think it's a really good model because it will save guys like Arun and Karen this repetitive review of, are you qualified, are you okay, are you the right guy, did you get the right price? And we can become standardized. I mentioned this in one of the other charts. We need to get better at standardizing our business. Every time a greenfield comes out, I feel like it's the first one that ever happened. Do you feel that way sometimes? Right? It's like you've done this all your life, but then it feels a little bit like, well, gee, we've never done this before. And we have to start from zero. And you need 100 suppliers or 50 suppliers, and you need this. And Ravindra's running around. How are we going to execute? It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. We should get repetitive. Our design should get repetitive. Our partners should get repetitive. We should get good at forecasting. And everyone here should know what you're getting from us per year with some degree of growth. You should be able to see down the road a little bit, which is good and helpful. And frankly, it's a comforting feeling to be able to have a forecast.
Yes.
Yes?
Yep, you are very correct on this. And we will look forward to see, like in the more slides in the next, that what is the main product line, so that we can find the streamlined process how we can support exactly on that.
That will come when Samuel comes and gives it, so I'm really glad. Thank you for not passing out. You guys have no sense of humor. I mean, I have a horrible sense of humor, and no one's laughing. I know I'm dry as hell, but help me out here. I want to go for one more. Oh, we have a brave soul. Wow. Are you actually raising your hand?
Yes, I thought
Well,
you might not fast approach.
I'll invite you. I didn't think any hands were working in this room for a second there.
Hi, Colin.
How are you?
It's been very interesting of your well-light strategy, and myself to introduce you. My name is.
Oh, is it off again? How does it do that?
It goes.
That's not your fault. There you go. You're on.
Really, it was very interesting of your well-light strategy, the going forward vision of ABB. Myself, just to introduce, my name is.
I want a picture with this guy. Come on. Come on. This is going to go online. We're going to be famous.
Sure.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, my name is VV Raghavan. I'm the managing director of Micropneumatics.
Okay.
I've been associated with ABB for the last 2 years in the present company, and myself with the background of Ingersoll Rand and Emerson.
Oh, okay.
Preceding this job.
Okay.
But what was very interesting is in my last 1.5 years association with ABB is that I've been closely working for your blending projects.
Okay.
I don't know what is your business unit talking about blending, but I think that paints company is a blending, right?
Yes.
Or you've got a lube oil project which is coming in Chennai right now.
Yes.
So in both the projects, I had a very good opportunity to work with you people. And what I also see is that you guys are also shifting from, of course, as ABB, as a corporate, you always look into solution-based sort of concept to the customer.
Yes.
So we, as a company, the Micropneumatics, and which is a 100% subsidiary of Kids Group, are looking to solution-based products. Since I have also the past experience of working for these multinationals, Emerson and Ingersoll Rand, I would like to reassure you that myself and all other Indian partners here who are part of your supply chain.
Okay.
The entire globe looks upon India as the hub for global supply.
Yes.
It's not the proud that I belong to India, but it's a fact that the intellectual brains are in India today.
Yes.
So our request is we are also looking beyond serving your Indian business units also to the other rest of the countries.
Yeah.
That's because India is also doing a sort of paradigm shift, like just not a product serving for a company, but it is transforming itself into a solution-based offering.
Okay.
In fact, I had a very close, a good opportunity to work with Mr. Balaji and his team. And the products what we gave was a solution-based, which is more like a plug and play, which together, when we approached as a team to the paint manufacturing or to the blue oil market, we could very well pitch our stand to them, and together as a partner, we could really get into a very good win-win situation. So we are there. We also are excited that this particular meet, what we have,
Yes.
is something for the other partners, like with your friend from Singapore.
Yes.
Is something we can absolutely rely on us, and we are not only on behalf of my company, I can also advocate on behalf of other partners here that it's an intellectual base what we have in India today.
That's great. Give this man a round of applause. Thank you for making yourself clear and making your business clear. It's super important. So again, how do we connect with each other during the day? What can we share and learn from each other? What in your business can we buy from you? I mean, that's basically the question, right? So I don't think you had a question, but you had a statement. Yeah? Okay. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a question in there somewhere.
The expectation is, of course, like we as a supplier really try to be a strategic partner.
Okay.
Okay. I know, we are not telling that you should not look for other partners.
Yes.
But by and large, when we work with you for a couple of projects,
Okay.
or maybe when you are bidding for a new greenfield or brownfield project, maybe we get prioritized as a part of that particular project.
So that's a big part of what we need to do in operations and supply chain. What you said is kind of what I said. I want you in US, Europe, Asia, with your same portfolio. That's the same thing we do. We deliver the same portfolio in about 54 countries inside of our division. So it's no different. I'm asking the same thing, where capable, when capable, and if you have the ambition. Yeah, okay. And the last thing, so what did I say? I want you to think about, can you help us on the front end side? Can we remain integrity bound partners on the integrity side? I talked about that. We talked about R&D. Are we developing solutions that your clients want? Yes, no? Or are we wasting money on some of the things that frankly no one buys? And I've got a list of stuff that we have sitting in desks, in drawers, that we haven't been able to get off the ground for one reason or another.